Okay, beautiful. So, welcome. It's really lovely to have you guys here. As I said, I never know how many people are going to turn up live, but it's always lovely to have energy of people coming in, and that's what makes this group work really powerful and really joyful. I run these I call them soul healing workshops once a month on a slightly different theme, but they're all themes that I resonate very deeply with, and my clients tend to resonate very deeply with, and it's often around um, fears, sensitivity, boundaries, all the things that I find sensitive souls kind of struggle with in this world. You know, it's not a terribly easy place to exist. And so, whatever we can do to help people feel less alone is kind of why I do this work. So we can all feel a little bit more at home in ourselves and more at home on earth as well. And this workshop will be a little bit of looking into the soul contract work. We're going to do some lovely divine healing at the end as well. I've got a note to make sure I don't run out of time because sometimes I push it in at the end because we've talked so much. So we're going to get started on that. So we have a good chunk of time to work through whatever comes up in the session for you guys as a group today. And what I was going to say was the first thing I always do before these workshops is just connect everyone together. So a few of you guys know who I am already, but for those of you who haven't met me, I'm Antonia. I'm in Cambridge in the UK, and it is swelteringly hot. I don't know if anyone else is in the UK here. It is, oh yeah, Caroline, I thought you might be. It is burning hot. Are you boiling as well? Because yeah, yeah, it's unseasonably hot for me. So I'm sorry if I'm just starting to get a little sweaty and fanning myself as I'm doing this. And my passion really is helping people understand themselves emotionally, because when we have awareness of how we operate and what's happening in our lives, we can really step into command of what's happening in our world. And so self-awareness is a really, really big thing. And the biggest way I find that we get self-awareness is through knowing the energies in our soul contract, which is very, very really eye-opening when you see what's in there. And we also do a lot of divine healing, emotional healing to support what comes up in there. So divine healing is what we're going to do later today. And it's all about clearing things that are in our subconscious that we don't even know are there. So it could be fears, beliefs, programs, past trauma, past lives. We might do a little bit of that today, I have a feeling. Self-sabotage, all the things that are running under the surface and creating tension and conflict and disharmony in our lives. So if you guys are very, very happy to share just very briefly, maybe where you are in the world and maybe what drew you here, and maybe because we're talking about fear of being seen and coming out of hiding, maybe the area of your life that you feel a little tricky to step out and be yourself in. And to break the ice, I will go first. I have a really big fear of being seen, especially in a big, big group. And believe it or not, I still get very nervous, even with a one-on-one client or a session just beforehand in a group, everything. I just bluff it a little bit, and I've had maybe a little bit of practice. But when it comes to social media, I find it very, very scary to put myself and my beliefs out there, because my beliefs are, you know, a little different, a little alternative, a little out there compared to mainstream. And I have had some really bad experiences, which has really wounded me, not just in this lifetime, I feel, but in past lifetimes. So I've got lots of fives in my soul contract. What I will say is, if you guys are happy, we're going to look at everyone's soul contract who is here. So if you want to have a look at that, just put your birth name in the chat. And I will pull it up into the soul contract reader software. And as and when it comes up in the workshop, we'll look at everyone and see what story is playing out there. Again, you don't have to, but it's quite fun to do that. So yeah, I feel a big, big fear of being judged, being criticized, and being attacked for my beliefs, which is why I kind of stay quite silent about them. So that's me. So if anyone else would like to share, beautiful, thanks, Karen. And to you, Leilani. Anyone like to share where they're from, maybe what drew them here, where they're feeling a little bit of fear around being themselves. It can be very short and sweet. Yes, Caroline.
I'll get it over and done with.
Yeah.
um, so the title "Fear of Being Seen" really grabbed me. I'm at this point where uh, I've been an energy. I've been working with energy, divine healing, and body talk for the last 13 years, and that was brilliant. So I'm working one to one, and there's a real push for me to start working with groups or teaching, and I I I just I freeze. I'm not naturally comfortable being seen, and social media. I find that there's just so much um, spiritual washing. That there's a sense of me wanting to be authentic, and it's, there's that fear of judgment. There's aspects of my healing which is brilliant because that's through experience, but there's part of me that won't show up because you don't want to upset if anybody sees it, parents or friends who don't particularly are not have a different view, have a very different view. So there's a whole complex, and I'm now feeling drawn. I'm 55 in September. I've got two girls. Amelia's 23. She's got a job. She's finished uni and going on to live in London. So her life's starting, and I've got a 17-year-old who's first year at college. So my life is changing, and my roles and my time is changing, and yeah. So that's where I'm at. I feel like there's something really holding me back. Maybe it's judgment. It's definitely self-sabotage. And not feeling good enough. There's a whole host of things, and I've been and I would like to, I would like to work more with groups, and rather than just keep doing the one-to-one, which is then primarily just physical. I feel like there's a necessity for me to connect. Anyway, I've hugged all that, so that's where I'm at, and yeah, I've got many. I've got 6 5s, so.
Oh God, yes, all the five energy.
Yeah, I've got 6 5s, 4 6s, and 4 7s. That's my
Okay.
birth. That's my birth name.
Oh my gosh, fives and sevens. Welcome to the club.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I feel you.
Hmm.
Thank you very much for sharing.
Thank you.
Also, I don't know why. Are you guys hearing a feedback? I don't know why that's happening. Uh, hang on a second.
Yes, feedback, lots of it.
Yeah, is that better now? Oh, it's better now. I have no idea what was happening there. Okay, but I'm back. I'm good. Okay, Caroline, thank you so much for sharing. And yeah, I always find that we have a fear of being judged by 4 distinct groups. It's our parents, our peers, strangers, and then on top of all of that is it's God, the universe, who we have a fear of disappointing. That can be a really big program. Being judged as not worthy under the light of our, the creator, the universe. So I really feel you there. And I have a feeling with all your 5s and 7s, there's just a lot of past life stuff playing out there, which I'm sure you're very aware of. Yeah. But thank you for sharing. Let's see how we get on today and see what comes up. Okay, beautiful. Who else would like to introduce and share what's coming up for them at the moment with hiding? Yes, Lynn.
Okay, hi. I think I was drawn here through Instagram. I'm not even sure how. I love everything soul related. I've been working with the Akashic Records for many years, and I don't know exactly what the soul contract is, but I already love it. And I also love numbers. I actually studied a BA in mathematics, and when I was a young student, my dream was to become a mathematics teacher. And I never did that. Life had another plan for me. But so this feels really fun, this soul contract with numbers and soul. And the visibility. So I've been working on this visibility. The light workers were all afraid of persecution, blah, blah, blah. And so, yeah, this has really, really just intrigued me. And I'm also just like Caroline and maybe others too here that I'm feeling really, really called to work with groups. It's been a while and I still didn't really do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And by the way, I'm from Montreal, Canada, which explains my accent. Thank you.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing. And I love that you're drawn here. We'll talk about the soul contract and I'll pull yours up and then tell you what you're looking at and what it is. And yeah, the light worker persecution is huge. Really, really big. I will actually, it's so programmed like in our DNA or our cells, our cellular memory. I will die if I do what I came here to do. So thank you for sharing that. That's a really big one. Okay, beautiful. Who else would like to share? Karen.
Yeah, I'm from Michigan, and yeah, I realized when I kind of woke up that I had really like shrunk myself, like dumbed myself down because people thought I was trying to be really intelligent and um made myself really small because I have big energy and it was always like too much for people. So I always tried to like just kind of blend into the woodwork. And it's hard coming out of that, and I also like stopped talking. Like I don't really remember why I did that, but it's like I didn't want to be too loud or something. I don't know. But it was like I was doing everything just to disappear, more or less. Become invisible. Yeah.
Okay. And Karen, if I can ask, where do you find it hard in what area of your life to start to come out of that space that you put yourself into? What kind of area?
Um, I think it would I think it would be to all the things that I did to like make myself small, as well as like, you know, um, it's just the masks that I started wearing to like try to fit in more,
Yeah.
instead of being so big, like make my energy like just be smaller and like, quieter and less less a lot of things. I don't even remember all of them, I don't think.
Yeah.
I
No, that's
I'm not yeah, not even sure who I really am.
yeah.
That was like just over the years, you kind of take bits and bits and bits away and then it's like when you start to think about it, it's like, God, I don't even remember.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm
Thank
here.
thank you for sharing. Yeah,
Hmm.
we do tend to as you said, blend in and hide and camouflage those parts of us that we don't feel comfortable, confident, or safe enough to to embody. That's a really, really big thing. Yeah.
Well, I
Thank
think they made other people feel uncomfortable. That was what I sensed was that my energy made people uncomfortable and and so it was like I just tried to like bring it back, bring it in and to make other people feel more comfortable because it was uncomfortable making people uncomfortable, you know.
Oh yeah, I have a feeling you've got some eights in your soul contract somewhere because that is really feeling other people's stuff and then modifying ourselves to
Mm,
blend and fit with how we want, how we're feeling other people's energy.
hmm.
Yeah, we'll take a look at that.
Okay.
Thank you for sharing, Karen.
Mhm.
Okay, who else would like to share?
Go.
Go
Hi.
on, Leilani.
I grew up in Chicago, Illinois. I live in Portland, Oregon now. Spirit called me here. And yeah, I saw this on Facebook, and as soon as I saw the title, I just felt this like wave of energy pulling me to be here. And it feels so right being here right now. Yeah, it's been like a huge theme in my life. Yeah, a lot of suppression and disempowerment growing up. I got a 17-8 in my physical karma, and in my legal karma, a lot of nines there I'm working through. Oh, yeah, social anxiety was really intense for me growing up. Past few years of childhood, I was actually mute, just wouldn't talk to anybody. I've done a lot of work on that these past few years, teaching retreats, doing a lot of group work, and that's really helped me to step out of that. I have a Leo rising, so I think I really want to be seen, but there's still that underlying, yeah, there's some stuff going on there. And yeah, I've done a lot of work, but I still recognize I'm starting to put myself out there on social media more, but I feel some nerves around that. So yeah, yeah, we'll
Yeah,
see what comes up today.
beautiful. Thank you for sharing. I'm also a Leo, and Leos are very sensitive. We want to be the center of attention, but we also don't. It's a very complicated one. I know you know what that feels like. And if you guys know human design as well, I always find soul contract work, human design, and astrology are like 3 points of a triangle, and they really help you understand yourself. And you've got the Akashic records, Lynn, as well, which is like another layer of understanding underneath. So yeah, it all feeds into the same kind of understanding. Okay, beautiful. Kitty, are you happy to introduce yourself? Are you
Yes, of course.
beautiful?
So my name is Gitti, and what I'm dealing with now is very strange because I'm like literally hiding. It's probably also the eights. I have two eights in my chart. I think in the karma, I have also one in my talent. But I've literally like not much left the house in the last 9 months which is super weird because I'm very social. I have a lot of friends, but I've just been canceling everything and really, yeah, like just canceling on everyone, canceling everything, not doing much. So it's very strange. And I've had this for the first time, but yeah, so it's this literal invisibility because I'm a singer, so I've given concerts, I've been a musical theater actor, I've done group teachings. I have no problem with this kind of visibility, but now I've become a complete recluse. And I really hate it because it's making my life, of course, it's making my life worse. It's like eliminating all the chances, all the, all the
Yeah.
connections, all the possibilities. So I'm really shutting myself down and I really hate it. So I'm really curious what comes up today, how that might me help with this, like, yeah, hiding away, invisibility.
Yeah, thank you for sharing, Gitty. Can I ask, this happened 9 months ago. Did something happen 9 months ago?
No, nothing happened. I was just I mean I had a ton of stress. I had a ton of
Okay.
stress at work. I had a ton of stress in my private life, and I just started to become super duper exhausted. So it's
Mm,
also like literal exhaustion. So I'm really just too tired. I have no energy. But then I know, if I go on hikes, if I live on an island, so I could literally go on hikes every day. I could swim in the ocean every day. And if I would do that every day, I would feel less exhausted. But I'm not even doing this. So I think it's the piling up of all the stress and all the exhaustion that just brought me to this point, which is, yeah, very
yeah.
not helpful.
Well, it's so lovely that you're here. Even if we can't see you, and the fact that you're here is amazing. And I'm gonna often, and I can really resonate with this, when we go through a period of burnout or intense, um, something that really affects us energetically, emotionally, physically, we can subconsciously really rebel from being even remotely in a similar situation. So even though our conscious mind is like, this would be really good for me and I would really enjoy this, subconsciously, everything in our body is pulling us in the opposite direction. And therefore, the two forces mean we actually don't move at all, because the desire and the fear are both going in other directions. So that might be, you mentioned the burnout. What's going on, the body just being like, I don't want to go back into that place.
Yeah, makes sense. Makes sense.
Yeah, but let's see what comes up today. And it's lovely, we've got such a lovely range of people and experiences, which is really joyful. And what's interesting is I was doing a little bit of prep for this workshop today, and normally it's quite quick and I can kind of tune in and be like, oh, we're going to talk about this and this. But with this one, I was like, oh, it's quite complex and layered. And I think it's because you guys are all, there's sort of different themes going on with all of you. So I hope we're going to meet everyone's needs and expectations in this. And what we're going to do is, I think we're just going to get started. And thank you so much, everyone, for sharing. Even that is a beautiful thing, to be able to speak in a group. So let me just get my screen organized. And I'm going to pop you guys up. I'm going to look at your soul contracts in a minute. We're going to start here. Okay. And what's also super interesting? So in the soul contract work in level 3, you learn about the energy of words, not just in names, but in, say, this title. And I put it into the software, and all the numbers were 777s. 7, 7, 16, 7, something like that. And 7 is the energy of coming out of hiding and being seen, and authenticity. So a couple of you said the title really grabbed you. It's because there was huge 7 energy, I think, in the title in the first place. So I really love that happened. Okay, how to feel safe to be yourself. So what stops us from being safe to be ourselves? And really, the way I kind of understand this is being ourselves and being seen are kind of the same thing, because we're all here to be fully embodied as who we are. And the thing that stops us from fully embodying and being ourselves without, shrinking or making ourselves smaller, as Karen shared, is feeling safe and feeling confident to be ourselves. So there's 2 slightly different layers we're going to look at today. And we're going to sort of, again, look at the charts as we do this. So we're going to talk about not feeling safe and also wanting to hide from the world, because they are quite subtly different. And what are, most importantly, the energetic blueprints within the soul contract that actually create these patterns. And what's super cool is I do the light body work, and the light body work is about removing all the devices and structures and separations within the energetic body to help us reconnect to source and be more embodied in this lifetime. And I just did a training where we did soul contract vow breaks and ancestral karmic vow breaks. And so a lot of stuff is very, very deep. This was very deep, this vow breaking work, because the soul contract is very strong. It's very, very strong. It really is the imprint for us in this lifetime. And ultimately, after all the talking and raising awareness to what's going on, what happens when we bring non-judgment and compassion through healing? And I think these are the 2 most powerful things, when we let go of judgment of ourselves and when we open our hearts to receiving and allowing ourselves to feel compassion, again, for ourselves. It always starts with us. And when we can be non-judgmental and compassionate with ourselves, we can be non-judgmental and compassionate with others closest to us, strangers, and the world. And that's a very beautiful thing. And that's a really big, big theme of this. So the 2 root causes of hiding. I find from experience, we're going to go with pink. Most fear of being seen comes from one of 2 core wounds. And let's just remove this little thing. I don't even know what this is. Oh no, this happens every time. It's like a little camera back out. No, there it is. Okay, sorry, bear with me, guys. I'm quite good at tech. Sometimes this trips me up a little bit. Okay. So being seen often comes from one of two core wounds. I don't want to be seen, coming from a fear of I don't feel good enough to be seen. And then it's not safe to be seen because I have had past experiences where I have been attacked or humiliated or shamed or judged or criticized or condemned or persecuted for being myself. And you can see that slightly different, and they can intermingle. And it's not like we feel one and not the other. We can feel both at the same time. I don't feel good enough to run groups. I don't feel safe to put myself out on social media, and either way, the result is we actually hide our true selves. And the whole purpose of this lifetime is to become fully embodied and to really connect with this world, connect with Earth, connect with the life that we have down here, connect with our bodies and connect with ourselves and really become the vehicle for our soul's expansion. But all sorts of things get in the way, all sorts of programming and fears. So just based on this, you guys can let me know, do you feel like which one feels stronger to you? Is it, I don't want to be seen because I don't feel good enough? Or is it, it's not safe to be seen, I genuinely don't feel safe? Maybe you can just let me know which one resonates with you, if anyone wants to share. Or maybe it's a combination of two of them. For me, it's probably a combination of two. But you guys can just think about that and just connect with that. And just let it settle. It might need a little bit more time to just land, and that's perfectly okay. Okay, let's go on to the next. Oh, there we go. Let's talk about I don't want to be seen. And really, there's one core belief. I'm not good enough. So in this lifetime, we have, this is a brilliant model created by someone called Layla Elizabeth Risdon. And I'm going to share it with you because I think it's so wonderful. And we're going to go into what this looks like in a minute. But first of all, I'm not good enough. I'm going to talk about self-worth. Self-worth sits down here. It's the foundation of our being. And above self-worth, we have self-esteem. And above self-esteem, we have confidence. And our confidence is built on our worth. Our worth is everything. And we are worthy because we are born. We do not have to do anything or be anyone to know our worth. We just are. And Wayne Dyer, I always remember, he does all the beautiful affirmation work, but he said once, I am, that is enough. I am worthy because I am, I exist. And this is our worth, I am. Now, where it gets a bit complicated is our self-esteem. And this is usually built on our accomplishments, on what we do. So self-esteem is built on what we do, but self-worth is based on who we are, which is being, a beingness. And so often when we do something and we don't feel proud of ourselves, we don't think we did well, or, Lynn, maybe you took some maths tests and back in the day and you failed or something like that, our self-esteem can take a real nosedive. But it's okay because it lands in our self-worth. Oh, I didn't do well in that test, but I feel I have a strong base of worth. I feel good about myself. I know I am worthy because I am. But if we don't have that lovely, strong foundation of worthiness, when we don't feel like we've done something well, for example, if I promoted this workshop and it has happened, only one person's turned up, and that's completely okay, completely normal. I could take that on board as, oh my God, I didn't do a good enough job. I'm not good enough. I shouldn't be doing this. But I've been working very hard on building that foundation of I am worthy. It's enough. Everything happens for a reason. This is how it's meant to be. It's a trust. It's a trust in knowing myself, knowing my worth. And then on top of all of that, we have our confidence. And our confidence, I would say, is the shiny pyramid, the golden pyramid on top. And Kitty, you feel like it sounds like you have a lot of lovely experience of presenting yourself out into the world, singing and being on stage. That is that glowing confidence of really being out there. And it's not determined on what you do, but it's just built on those lovely layers on who you are at your core. I'm worthy to sing and express my voice, my beautiful voice. So if we go back to I don't want to be seen, I'm not feeling good enough. And I hope that made sense. I know it was quite brief. I actually have written a whole blog post about that topic, which I can send you guys afterwards. I'll just make a note because I know we went through that quite quickly. I've just listed a little bit of what I'm not good enough can actually show up as in real life. So first of all, shyness. Who here was shy as a child or is still shy now? I am. I'm really shy. Okay, so it's a really big thing. Yeah, Lynn, was that a hand? It was, yeah. Shyness and difficulty communicating and expressing ourselves, especially our needs. And this does often come from a childhood, actually, being in environments, especially as sensitive souls, that can feel a little overwhelming, a little daunting. A self-critical inner voice. Tell you what, I had this yesterday. I did something and I was very annoyed with myself. And I caught myself being like, oh, you're such an idiot. And it was such a strong voice. And it's not usually there, but it was really, really big because I did something that put myself out there and I didn't feel like I did a good job. And I was really self-critical. So I know I've got a lot of work to do. We all do, but a lot of work to do in rebuilding that worth for me. Now, perfectionism. Does anyone resonate with needing to do things perfectly? Yes, Leilani is just nodding big. Caroline, yeah. So perfectionism is, yes, Karen, welcome to the perfectionist club. It is this sense of I must get it perfect because there is no room for error. If there's room for error, people can see the error and I will be judged. I will be deemed unworthy because, my God, it's just not good enough. It's not good enough for me. It's not good enough for my parents. It's not good enough for society. So, my gosh, perfectionism is a really, really big one. And I did my last workshop last month on perfectionism. It's just a really, really, really strong thing. Overthinking and overanalyzing. This, I find, yep. Overthinking is a really big thing. Again, when we overthink, it's not as easy as making decision A or decision B. We are always in our minds trying to work out all the possible and probable outcomes in order to keep ourselves safe or to keep ourselves protected. It's not random and it's not pointless. We don't really want it to take over our lives, but the reason it's there is we're always trying to adjust and make sure that we are covering all angles to keep ourselves safe and protected. It's a very, very big one. And this is what happens. We then struggle to make decisions. And then we struggle to take action. And this is where, you know, self-sabotage, that lovely cycle comes in where we try and do something and that little voice comes in of, oh, you need to think about this and you should do that and you're not good enough to do that. And then we don't do it and we think, oh, let's try and do it again. And then we try again. And then that voice comes in again. It's a self-sabotage loop, always, always playing in the background. And this is why we self-sabotage opportunities, you know, to be seen and to step up. And if we're invited to things or if someone says, come and meet me for a coffee, I self-sabotage meeting people. I'm really good at that. That's my skill, my secret skill. I will push everyone away. I don't want to get to know you. I don't know if I can trust you. I don't know if I'll be safe with you. It's a really big one for me. And then, of course, there's the fear of being judged, the embarrassment and shame of not doing a good job, saying the wrong thing. And so we don't want to feel that fear. As human beings, we do everything in our power not to feel our emotions, especially the really uncomfortable ones. And so that's when we go into those nice, this was my workshop last month, cycles of avoidance. We'll numb out, we'll distract ourselves, we'll binge Netflix. I do it as well. I watch Below Deck when I'm feeling stressed. It's about people on a yacht and it's wonderful. We eat, we drink, we go on social media, we scroll, all of those things just to take us out of the discomfort of that emotion. We can also feel really energetically invisible to the world. Like, I don't want to be seen. I'm not good enough to be seen, and therefore no one's going to see me. And it's almost like a self-perpetuating thing, where the program and the fears kind of feed into this belief system, and that belief system becomes our reality. You know how powerful words are, how powerful our thoughts are, and how we speak. If we're feeling I'm not worthy of being seen, that's the energy that we're really going to be bringing out into the world. And this is a very hidden, all of these are very subtle behaviors that play out in our fields all the time. They're always coming from our mind down into our body and down into our energy fields. And so I want to do just take a little pause and just see if you guys connect or resonate with that, and if there's something that feels more strong than something else, or if there's something I haven't put down here that kind of feels connected to not wanting to be seen. Does anyone want to share if there's one that they really connect with, or one that feels really strong? Or is everyone feeling shy? And it's okay. It's okay if you just want to lean back and listen as well. Just want to give you guys the opportunity to share and express what one feels quite strong, and then we can talk about it a little bit. Maybe bring up the soul contract. Otherwise, it's just me yabbering on, and I always love to give you guys a chance to share what's coming up for you.
I think the one that I would most uh, identify with is fear of being judged, embarrassed, or saying the wrong thing. And and actually that's not like at the time so much as afterward, like that overthinking that, you pick apart your conversation, what you said, how you said it, how did they reacted, it's like that kind of thing. I do a lot of that. Well, I will say it's really improved, greatly in the last, probably 5 to 6 years. It's gotten, it used to be really hard for me to like do social things because, um, and mostly I would just pick up, it would only be because I would spend so much energy and time on picking myself apart afterward that it was like didn't want to do it anymore, couldn't stress myself out that much. But it's a lot easier now, I've let go of a lot of worrying about what other people think of me, and I think a lot of that has to do with, I started, this life out thinking I was, like everybody else. And then just little by little, I found out how different I was. And then I thought, wow, what's wrong with me? And then I came back to, okay, I was never supposed to fit in. I was always supposed to be different. Oh, okay. So then I didn't feel like as weird or strange or, as much of a misfit, I guess. But, you know, other than that, I just think, it's the reaction of people in the moment that, that caused a lot of my shrinking in that, it was just like I could tell I never fit in, I could tell I was different, and I was trying so hard to fit in for the longest time. And that just was, you know how that turns out, it just doesn't work.
It
So,
doesn't work, yes, but it's sometimes the only choice. we don't really have a choice at that time, especially when we're younger. It's you
Right,
fit in or
right.
you suffer.
Right. I
Um,
thought about it this morning. It's like that thing of where you think of, where in caveman days, everybody had to survive in groups. You had to be
yeah,
accepted. You had to be
yeah,
part of a group to survive. And, it's like that ancestral element kind of comes into, I think, trying to fit into the group, trying to fit in. If you don't have like support or, people, then you're gonna die. And that's everybody's fear, at the end. So yeah, it's like I kind of put that together this morning. It was kind of weird.
yeah. It's a that's a really, really big one, Karen, because we are programmed to exist in communities. And
Hmm.
if we are not in a community and we're excluded and we're shunned, it's the shame of that. And it's it's the, oh my God, I am going to die because I'm not going to be safe from predators. I'm
Right,
not going to be able
right.
to get food. And it is, even though it was a long time ago, it's very hardwired. And
Hmm.
the culture today, the programming in culture is very much, you must have a big group of friends. You're successful if you have a big group of friends. You're successful if you look a certain way. You're successful,
Right.
and this is a world that we're here to break down the illusion of the ego, to come into a soul orientated embodiment of life. But the world around us, the matrix we live in, is doing everything it can to keep us in the ego existence, which is unconsciousness. So, yes,
Hmm.
there's a lot of societal programming of you are a failure if you don't fit in. And yeah,
And you know how in middle school there's always like this, a lot of friends changing at that point, sometimes. And I had a friend who like just one day, her family moved a little farther from me, and it was like our friendship just like completely disbanded. And all of a sudden, I was like left without anybody at school to play with. And then there was this new person in school, and I just remember walking up to her and saying, "Do you want to play?" And she said, "Yeah." And, then we started hanging out. But for the rest of school time, and actually into my adulthood, I had this fear that like if I lose her, I'm gonna be like alone.
yeah,
And yeah, I remember it being kind of like really, I that was a really big fear during school after that. Like, what happens if I lose her as a friend?
yeah. And the fact that you can
Yeah.
remember that so clearly as such a big thing, it's
Hmm.
often those things that we remember, the comments our parents make, or that memory that just keeps popping up, that
Hmm.
is still really dug into us, and we're not remembering it by accident.
Right.
It's there to
Right.
be
Right.
absolutely looked
It's
at.
hanging around in your mind for a reason.
Exactly. Thank you so much for sharing, Karen.
Yeah.
That's a really big one. We'll look at a few soul contracts in a minute as well related to that. Um, I saw you guys share a few. Lynn, I don't want to be seen. Oh no, hang on, that was from before, not okay, so which one does anyone else want to share? What behavior might be playing out? Anything that feels really strong? Yes, Leilani. Did you put your hand up? Yeah.
Yeah, it was the same one as Karen, the fear of being judged, embarrassed, or saying the wrong thing. There was actually there was a period where I would script everything I would say in advance. And I
Mm,
took like these like personal development classes, like build confidence, and they would give scripts for like things to say. I would literally like sit, write them all down, memorize them, and just have different lines I would say. That way I could never say the wrong thing. But I definitely lost a lot of authenticity by doing that. So yeah, it was a double-edged sword.
yeah, that's very strong. Did you have quite critical parents, Leilani?
Very, yeah, my dad, very.
Mm, should we have a look? I'm just feeling I might have a look at you guys, you two, look at your soul contracts. Let's pull it up here. Da, 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 da. So I've got Karen. I'm going to pop you in here. Let's just take out that little. There we go. This is my little secret software, guys, that I pop everyone's name in. And Leilani, I'm going to get yours. And you got your phonetic in there. Wonderful. So the phonetic name is for non-English names that have a slightly different spelling. Both soul contracts are correct, whether it's as spelled or phonetic. And I'm not looking at your let's just close your commonly used names. I'm just looking at these. Oh yeah, that's that. Those are all your eights. Leilani, that's the criticism from your dad. The 10-1 is the masculine. Absolutely. And they're very sensitive, all those twos. Just having a little quick scan. Well, you're really here to speak up and express yourself. Yeah, it's absolutely what you're here to do and share. How wonderful to become very focused and trust. Fours are very much, there's two numbers around self-worth. I would say threes and fours, whatever combination they come in. Threes are here to feel worthy, to express themselves out into the world. And fours are here to feel worthy to receive. So two slightly different understandings there. And also to trust that they are worthy to receive. And then you've got those fives coming in there as well, which is using your voice and speaking up. The fives are very strong, very strong. As I'm sure you resonate. There's quite a few 15 6s in there as well. Do you often go in sort of seeking things and flowing from things to things? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a manifesting generator, so I think that combined with the 15 6, it's me running around wanting to do everything.
Yeah, absolutely. And you're here to get very focused with your sixes. Got to focus on that one thing. And then Karen, I was looking at yours. You've got that 10-1 energy as well, and the 15 6s, which is interesting. The 10-1s are a very intangible, spiritual, masculine expression of God energy. And I do find I don't have this number, but when you have it in your soul contract, you can feel out of place in this world. You know, it's a very intangible, strong energy, and it's highly talented and channeled. But I think most people I've spoken to who have this number are like, God, I find it really hard to connect with people. I find it really hard to connect with this earthly experience. And Karen is so beautifully sensitive. So, of course, you would have felt like a sponge everyone else's stuff around you. And what you mentioned about if I lose that one friend, how am I going to make more friends? That's the 11 2s, which often don't, they're here to learn that they can do it themselves, that they can depend on themselves. They have that inner framework and structure within them, but they can feel quite lost. It's a very lost energy, it can be. And you're here to find yourself and find your structure, find your truth. But the two, so sensitive and beautiful. And of course, Leilani, you'll be feeling everyone's stuff with your eights and overcoming that disempowerment from your dad and learning to speak up and overcome soul suppression. So yeah, eights are also that overthinking energy, over analyzing, questioning things. Absolutely. And with both of you, you both have the 22 2 energy. This is about healing that inner conflict within. And often there's a really strong inner conflict running. And in healing, we call this key psychological conflicts. And it's almost like two opposing beliefs that are running. I want to be here. I don't want to be here. I want to be seen. I don't want to be seen. I want to make friends. I don't want to make friends. And again, it's like two parts of us that are pulling in different directions. And we can feel great conflict within, great tension and conflict. And that tension and conflict can then spread outwards into our relationships, into our work, into our environments. Karen, were you going to share something on that?
Yeah, I have all kinds of like I feel like I'm, like it's a dual personality, what do I want? I don't know. I really, I feel like I'm at war with myself a lot. Like especially like, you know, when I was young, I used to beg God to take me back, take me back, take me back, please take, I'd cry at night, please take me back. And and I want to be, I understand that it's a privilege, it's a honor to be here. It's an honor to be part of this evolution. And at the same time, it's like, I still want to go back home.
Yeah. I
It's
mean,
like, I don't know which one I want more, really.
oh my gosh, I'm just going to see your common name quickly. I just want to add that in there. Oh yeah, the feeling of wanting to go home is really strong. I was just going to see if you have any eights, but no, you've got those sevens coming up, Karen, in your commonly used name.
Oh.
Just yeah, that is a very strong feeling for a lot of us who land here, who land in
Yeah.
this work, who are existing in on this level that we're all at, this level of consciousness. And it's quite a hard one to break through and come through to the other side of, well, this is where I am, this is where I'm meant to be. But there can be, with 11 twos, a lot of trauma stuck in our fields, especially from the
Hmm.
past, that can almost create more conflict of like, this earth has been so traumatic and I don't want to be here anymore. So yeah,
I kind of feel like I wanted to turn around and leave as soon as I was conceived. It was like, okay, this was a mistake.
yes, and
Just let's
yeah,
undo this.
and we absolutely come in, we are born with, we are almost born as a soul with programs. We can have birth programs that we bring into incarnation, like, I don't want to be born. To survive, I must not grow. To survive, I must not speak. To survive, I must not be here. And my gosh, they can be strong. And for both of you, look at all these 15 sixes. Um, that is what we call the spiritual journey inwards. It is
Mm.
absolutely working your way into the center of your knowingness, of the I am, of your spiritual existence here on earth. You're doing great. It's not the easiest. There's no easy soul contract. I'll put it that way. There's
No.
no easy soul contract. But thank you so much for sharing. And what I wanted to do was, we'll move on to the next one, and then I'll oh, Gitty's come on. We can see you, Gitty. Lovely. Welcome. You just popped up and it looks lovely and tropical where you are. What island are you on?
On Tenerife.
Oh, heavenly. Okay, gorgeous. Very jealous. Okay. So I don't want to be seen because I don't feel good enough. I don't feel confident enough. I don't want to come out of hiding. Oh yeah, I forgot we had this slide. So the hidden emotional root cause underneath this very core belief, as we've said, lack of self-worth and a lack of confidence to express ourselves out into the world. All that lovely childhood trauma and the shame that comes with it, and the absolute fear and horror within us of, I cannot repeat something that brings me into anywhere near that level of discomfort that I had. We will do anything we can to avoid the shame. And as children are very cruel. We're learning how to be kind, but children are not kind often. I'm sure we all had very difficult experiences at school. I don't know anyone who escaped unscathed, to be absolutely honest. Lack of validation or recognition as a child, or having parents, as Leilani shared, who are very self-critical and judgmental. I'm sure they probably got 10 ones in their soul contract. Yeah. Oh, it's that lovely, I have a feeling it's that ancestral karmic 10-1 energy that's just coming through the lines there for you. Yeah. Yeah, that can, we can have a lot of, as we said, we don't want to be judged by our parents, our peers. society, and we ultimately don't want to be judged by God. And our parents are a reflection of the universe, of God, which is why we carry, we put them on that pedestal. And as I shared, lots of parental and ancestral imprints. We do work through our parents' karma, which is unfortunate because we've got our own to deal with. And then we have our parents and we have our ancestors going back and everything that's going on there. So we're clearing a lot in this lifetime, especially if we are doing this work, which we all are. It's not random at all that you're here. And what I would say are the biggest soul contract patterns, the 11-2s, is that high sensitivity, that lack of ability of believing in themselves. So I can do it. I can put the framework in. I can do it my way. I can trust myself. I can do it. Despite, 11-2s can soak up a little bit of the family dysfunction. They can experience trauma quite a lot, which makes them very highly sensitive to putting themselves out into the world. And we got those 7s. So we'll look at your soul contract, Caroline. I know you mentioned you got those 7s in there. I've got those 7s as well, which are very much, I do not want to be seen. If it's not safe to be seen, and I can't decide who to be. This is a really big one. 7s will wear many masks to try and keep themselves hidden. And the reason they keep themselves hidden is they can't fully trust and accept who they are at their core. And I know this one because I have it. And 7s carry a very big shadow energy to transmute in this lifetime. I think we all carry a lot of shadow, all of us. No one's immune to that. The 7s in particular are here to let down the masks that they wear. It's almost like, what role shall I play today? Who shall I play it for? What role shall I play with my parents? What role should I play with my peers? What role shall I play with myself? We hide who we are with 7s because we don't feel safe to be ourselves. And usually that happens when we've had very deep heartbreak, when we have revealed who we are. And so we do not risk it. We do not try it again. We shut ourselves down and we shut our hearts down. And it's really ironic because 7s are here to actually work through the heart. It's all about opening and working from the heart. And you're really here to help people connect and help people, bringing people together with this energy. But first of all, you have to bring yourself together. You have to bring yourself into one cohesive embodiment of who you are. And when you do that, it's very powerful. It's very strong. Because I have 7s, I tend to work with a lot of people who have 7s. It's really lovely. It's a really big recognition for me of, wow, when you actually embody that 7 energy, 7s turn up. And then 3s, 12 3s, and 21 3s. Now I've got these ones, my soul destiny at 12-3. 3s are here to learn how to be worthy to come out of hiding, come out of the canal, and share their gifts and talents with the world. Easier said than done. 3s can be very, very failure orientated, and they can really lack a knowing that they're really good at something. Kitty, you might have some 3s hanging out on your chart because you're a singer.
No, I don't have 3s, but I have 7 7s. I have the 13-4 as a goal, and I have also the 11-2 and the 22 and the 17-8, but I don't have any 3s.
Interesting. Do you have it in your do you have any in your common name, your commonly used name?
Yes, I haven't checked that because I have a double last name, but in my first half of my life, I only used one of those. But I don't remember. I have checked that recently, but I don't remember. So
we can have a little look.
Must be, yeah.
Yeah, because usually 3s are wonderful communicators and expressors. 5s and 3s are here to learn how to use their voice. But of course, with the soul contract, and this is for you, Lynn, because I know you were curious about the soul contract. Let's just go down here. The way our soul contract works is it's based on the sound. Oh my gosh, it's done it again. Back you go. There we go. There we go. The soul contract is based on the sound of our name because sound is energy and vibration. And all of us, we're just the conscious personality. We're just the vehicle for the soul to come in and express through us. And the soul came down to earth wanting to learn and experience certain things in this lifetime. It's not your first lifetime, you've had many. And so it picked certain challenges. And each number, I would say, is like a seesaw, and there's 22 numbers. Each number has the less positive expression, so more negative, more challenging, and the lovely positive expression, the potential. We're always trying to move from the challenge into the potential. That's what we're here to do. And all the different numbers have slightly different meanings. So, for example, the challenge of a physical karma of 5-5 is not feeling safe to express my truth. This is my soul contract. I don't feel safe to speak up. And I'm very sensitive. And I can be a bit scared. I'm a little bit of a scaredy cat sometimes. And my spiritual karma is I'm really here to connect with people and connect with my body and my emotions and learn how to feel and come out of my overthinking mind. So that's a challenge. And the potential is 5s can be wonderful communicators. They can be wonderful pioneers. They can be really on the forefront of new ways of being in this world if they move through the challenge. You have to in order to move through the challenge, you have to go into it head first and come out the other side, like going down a water slide. You have to actually go through the tube to the other side. And for the 8s, when you're connected to your body, you're really grounded and you're out of your mind and you're into your body, and you can be more present. You know, as Karen said, those 8s can be really overthinking things, and should I have said that and done that? And Karen, your 7s will be trying to avoid that shame of I shouldn't have said that. So when we embody the positive potential of the 8, for example, I can really just be really at peace and present with myself. So each number, no matter where it is on the chart, has that challenge that moves through into that potential, and everything connects together. So, our talents are normally a little lighter energetically. Our goals can be quite challenging because we're here to reach them. And our soul destiny kind of wraps around everything. Our soul destiny is like the umbrella that holds all the energies together. So my soul destiny is to share, but balanced. I come out of balance all the time. I mean, all the time. So that's my biggest challenge, is to learn how to find balance. The way I describe a 12-3, does anyone have any 12-3s hanging out on their chart? Is it just me? It's like a galloping horse. The 12 is always wanting to expand. It's like the horse galloping on the beach. And the 3 is like, you've got to stay busy. You've got to stay in order to not feel that unworthiness, like the rider on its back. And it can be a very intense expression. So let's come back here. So we talked about I don't want to be seen. Let's move into it's not safe to be seen. Again, it's a layer down, it's a layer deeper, and it comes from slightly different places. And really the core belief, the world is not safe. It is not safe. Not just I don't want to be seen because I don't feel good enough. It is literally not safe for my nervous system to be here. It's not safe for me to come out. Gitty, it's not safe for me to step out of my door and socialize and connect with people. So there can be this feeling of I don't trust people. They're out to get me. The world is out to get me. The world is not a safe place. And I don't know about you guys, but going through the shenanigans of COVID in 2020 and 2021, my faith and my belief system in the world absolutely crumbled. And I didn't trust anyone, didn't trust governments, didn't trust politicians, didn't trust anyone. And that's a really hard thing to shift. Trusting people is very much the 7 energy and the 4 energy. Can I trust you? Can I be myself with you? Can I trust that you'll be a good person for me? It's a really strong one. We can be very overly sensitive to the world. A lot of us are very sensitive, high frequency souls, and the world can feel very demanding and very intense, especially in the online space. Does anyone here get a little overwhelmed and frazzled by the online world, social media? It's loud. Our nervous systems were not designed to handle that much exposure to other people and other ideas and other personalities and other energy systems constantly. They make social media addictive for a reason. But our nervous systems, it's not a comfortable place to be. And so often we will actually avoid visibility or exposure by actually hiding. We will physically, emotionally hide and isolate, especially if we've got 6s in our soul contract and 8s. 6s will hide in order to try and focus. But 8s will try and hide in order not to feel, not to confront something that feels too uncomfortable. And we can be a little bit controlling with ourselves and with others in order to stay safe. And this is very much a 7 energy again. And often we're very unconscious of our controlling behavior. We can do things that we're just not conscious of doing them, but it's just super controlling. Not just for ourselves, but for the people around us. My poor boyfriend. I've got all these 7s in my chart and I'm like, don't want to do that, don't want to go there, we're not going there. Being very honest with you guys. So that's my controlling behavior coming out. And of course, we mask and hide who we really are and how we really feel. And we button up. And we shrink and we blend in. This is very much survival. Very, very much survival. And I don't know if one of these or a few of these resonate with any of you guys. Caroline.
What was really interesting is when we were going through, I wrote, I don't want to be seen. And I'm absolutely flabbergasted, but I realise from what you've just said, it hit me really deeply that it's not safe to be seen. I mean, I've got a nice hand of the ones from before, but this one really resonated, and I just didn't see that at all.
It's the deeper layer underneath, isn't it?
Yeah. That really has come up.
There we go. Full of surprises here.
Yeah.
I seem to be echoing again. I don't know why. I'm going to pull up your chart. Let's have a look. See what's going on here. And we'll just take you other guys off. Yeah, it's a layer that sits underneath, Caroline. Yeah, that makes us not want to be seen. As I said, this is a little bit of a complex topic, this. It's not such an easy one to grasp within ourselves. Let's have a look. Yeah, 5s and 7s, lots of past life stuff going on here. Whoa! Oh God, you got it again here. Yeah. And that 10-1 of, as I said earlier, very, very, very high spiritual energies coming down and landing here and being like, what the hell? How am I going to connect with people? How on earth can I reach out and connect and share who I am? I struggle to know who I am. How can I, who am I? As Karen said, who am I? And also when 9s show up. So I say 9s, when we have them in our chart, is this fine line between I have been disempowered and I could actually easily disempower others. It's almost like we can have other lifetimes where we have misused and abused our power. And we have this resonance of, if I use my power, I might use it for bad. And it's such a sneaky, subtle one. If I really wanted to, I could take hold of my power and do something really big with it. But we stop ourselves from doing that. We have a real resistance to doing that because of what has happened in the past when we've had that amount of power. And so often we experience disempowerment in this lifetime to know what it feels like to be out of power, to lose our power. And so we can learn what it's like to have that experience and then use it wisely. So would you say, Caroline, you've experienced disempowerment at some point in the past?
Yeah, totally, totally. With you know, we've all had experiences of childhood, parents, and I interestingly kind of feel that now, that shrinking, and then allowing people to overpower you, to lose that sense of self. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
It's a very powerful. Oh, sorry, I might have to mute. I think it might be if you mute yourself, Caroline, maybe the feedback won't work. Let me see. Oh yeah, that's better. I don't know why that works, but unmute when you're speaking, of course. I think yeah, the disempowerment can be quite strong, and it can leave a really big wound in us, especially when we're younger. But you're actually here. You're actually very powerful. And power basically means having the knowingness and the ability to do something and do it well. And you do beautiful healing work and you know you do it well, but it's just clearing that past disempowerment in order to feel safe to step into that power, knowing that you will not abuse it as others have done to you in the past, especially with all those fives. You know, fives are very much trying to land in this world, land in this body, land in this reality. Can feel very fives and 10 ones and nines are very, very connected spiritual numbers. To have all of them, it's like, how do I connect with people in this lifetime? How can I be myself on earth? And then you've got that lovely 22, which seems to be a theme in the group of that inner conflict of I want to, you know, I'm sure you have that desire of I want to be out there, I want to run groups, I want to do this beautiful work that I came here to do, and then having that huge fear putting you back of absolutely not in a million years am I going to do that. Yeah. Oh, a juicy one. Thank you for sharing. Okay, let's find my little mousy thing. Does anyone else want to share what they connected with? Otherwise, we can move on. And oh, Lynn, yes.
Well, I think in that it's not safe to be seen, the masking and hiding who you really are and how you feel. So I think I've just done it for so long that I wouldn't even know when I'm doing it. Yeah.
Yes,
Like
it's
it just automatically happens.
just got embedded in somewhere along the way, and yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let's look at you, Lynn. Let's see what's going on there. Oops. Let's just pop your name in here and let's see what's happening. I have so many little windows up. That's why I'm sometimes a little bit slow to move things around. Okay, let's have a look. Oh, look, the 10-1 comes up again. That lovely, sensitive, high frequency of, oh my God, how can I connect? How can I be here? This is so not where I usually am. The 22 comes in again, that inner conflict. Isn't it interesting that it's showing up in everyone's charts? It's not a very common number. I have it in my common name, but I don't tend to see it very often in people's soul contracts. And you got those lovely fives as well, which is very much fives experience disempowering situations just like the 9, because we are here to come into our Aries power of asserting ourselves and asserting our voice. So much more, and you got the 9s as a little a sibling there in your commonly used name. So two lots of disempowerment basically there. and then all the stuff that gets stuck in the nervous system. And you're highly sensitive. You've got those beautiful eights in there as well, feeling things very deeply, I imagine. Yeah. When we feel deeply, we will try and shut down because it's overwhelming, it's too stimulating. Did you have some stuff going on with your mum when you were younger?
Mm, like
Disempowerment.
what? I think it's more of an ancestral maternal thing where no one used their voice. Because I had a beautiful relationship with my mom.
Okay. Okay, beautiful. That's lovely to know. So the 13-4 is to do with the feminine. That's why I asked that. The mother, the feminine within us and the feminine externally. And yeah, that would very much be coming down the maternal ancestral line, that 13-4 energy. Of again, opening the heart. It's a very heart-centered energy, soft heart-centered. But you're here to use your voice. You're here to come out of hiding with your threes, come into the talent expression of being heard, as sharing what you have within you. You got double talents of threes, but just because it's in your talent position doesn't mean it's easy. The threes are very much about coming out and bringing all your lovely deep soul knowledge with you and sharing it with the world and feeling worthy to do that. So in your chart, I'm feeling a little bit of I'm not good enough. I don't want to be seen. And also it's not safe to be seen because of your fives and nines. Do you feel both of them a little bit, those ones?
No, absolutely. Like I've been struggling with this, like this inner war, like you were saying, for sure. And the disempowerment, I think I could get a PhD.
Oh gosh, bless you. Yeah.
Ah.
You've had your fair share. Yeah, well, no wonder you're just like, I'm going to tuck myself in and contain myself because it's too risky to be exposed. I completely understand that. 11-2s, this is ancestral. I call 11-2s the emotional processing units of the family. And so you do tend to take on all the parents and the ancestral stuff, and it lands. Karen, you've got it as well with all your 11-2s. You soak all the dysfunction in and you're here to cleanse and clear it out. So yeah, that's a big one. Okay, let's move on, and then Kitty will look at your chart as well before we finish. Just going to look at this quickly. Hidden emotional patterns behind it's not safe to be seen. We kind of talked about most of them. Past experiences of criticism and judgment, especially from our parents and our peers at school. And past life persecution. Again, if you've got fives in your soul contract, you're working through lots of past life stuff that is echoing through, bleeding through. And also for nines, not feeling safe as a child. It's not always feeling physically unsafe, it's feeling emotionally unsafe. I can't speak up. I have to be the peacekeeper in my family. This is very much the 8 energy. Lelani, you've got lots of that 8 energy coming in. It's that peacekeeper. Got to keep the peace. Got to satisfy everyone else's emotional needs. Got to walk on eggshells kind of energy. Yeah. Do you want to share?
Yeah, definitely resonate with that. I'm wondering too, like with people pleasing tendencies or like that fawn response, would that also be 8 energy?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, it's the 8s can just feel other people's stuff so deeply. Sort of that's someone coming into a room who are sort of a stressed person coming into the room. This is us. We feel it immediately. We feel unsafe. We take on their stress and we try and satisfy them. We try and calm it down. That's that peacekeeping. Yeah, and it's whether it's that fauna response or anything like that. Absolutely. But often we have had experiences where we have been with people that have where we've not felt safe. And so it's a learned behavior of I need to do this with people to feel safe, to protect myself. Yeah. And our nervous system can be stuck in fight, flight, freeze, fawn, all 4 of those in everyday situations. It doesn't have to be big stuff. And then, as we said, lots of parental and ancestral stuff coming down with safety. My mom has karmic sevens in her soul contract. I've got them in goals and talents, so not quite as strong as karma, but that seven energy is very strong with my mum. And I see it in my granny's chart. I can see that big seven karmic energy going from my granny to my mum to me. And on my dad's side, it's all fives and eights. I went back to his grandfather and I could see those fives and eights coming all the way through and landing in my chart. And so, yeah, it's not safe. Can't trust people as the four energy. It's not safe, the fives. Same with sevens. We've talked about all of these. These are like the key ones that really connect with not feeling safe to be seen. And they're really strong. And before we go into the divine healing, and of course, I've gone on a little bit longer than I wanted to. Happens every time. I wanted to, Gitty, let's have a look at your chart. I'm curious about your, if you want to, I'm curious about your common name. If you feel happy, do you want to send it over in the chat and we'll pop it in? Let's see what's going on there. You might have already shared it. I couldn't. Ah, perfect. Is this your birth name, this one? That's a common one.
Yeah, no, that's the name I just used because the other one is too long. Do you need the birth name as well?
Give me the birth name, yeah.
Birth, then
Yeah.
I will give you the birth name now.
And then we are going to do some divine healing. I've already opened the space, so we're going to get into something that everyone needs. Okay, perfect, got it. Let's have a look. My computer is so hot right now. I think it's gone a tiny bit slow, but let's have a look. Ah, I've got fours and sevens up front. Those are your threes.
Ah, look, yeah.
Yeah, that's that lovely soul expression, expressing out. And again, there's nothing normal in this work, you know, just because they're in your karma, you have actually come into the talent expression of them, which is very beautiful. And I think because it's your common name, it's not often as strong as the birth name. But I'm seeing the 22 energy coming in again. Do you resonate, Gitty, with that kind of that inner conflict? I think you said earlier, like, I want to be social, but I can't get out the door.
I'm the most conflicted person on earth in
Okay.
every sense.
Do you find it hard to make decisions?
No, that not at all. I'm very good at making decisions, very quick, very easy for me, but so much conflict, yeah.
Yeah, that's
Like in my mind.
22. The eights can be very, very heady. Do you find often like the brain, I should do this, but if I did that, I'll do that? And
Yeah, 100%. Overthinking,
yeah.
and then also not wanting to be here with the eights, you know, I just don't want to be here. Yeah, same.
Oh yeah, I've got the karmic eights in the same position. You've got them here as well in your talents. Really here to eights have that big challenge of, oh man, I actually have to talk to people, I have to connect with people, and I'll have to be here on earth. And we have this core belief of like, oh, I just don't want to do this. I don't want to be here. What is this hell I've landed on? You look like you're in a beautiful heavenly space right now in Tenerife, because this is what eights are here to do, is to be at peace with ourselves and where we are, and to create a heaven on earth, which I think is a very beautiful phrase. But we are here to work through, and I'm going to call it a tunnel, all the emotional pain to get to that other side, which is heaven. Eight's really here to come into their feelings in a very big way. They will do everything they can to avoid it, but they're really here to feel. And you've got those high frequency ones coming in your chart as well, which are a real big match to the eights, that high frequency godlike energy. Yeah, very much here to overcome that beautiful soul suppression and really come into your power. That's a big power one, 17-8. And I think because your name's non-English, I don't know where you're from originally, but there's going to be a phonetic level to your chart, which is more how it sounds rather than how it's spelt, which I think will bring in a few different frequencies that I'm feeling. I think more threes. It's my vibe with you, more threes. Yeah, you're here to trust. There's a lot of four energy. Have you ever had any things around, I don't trust things will work out, or I don't trust
Oh
people?
yeah, only I always think things won't work out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, beautiful. Thank you for sharing. I know that was brief.
thank you.
I did just want to have a quick look at that before we run out of time. So thank you so much for sharing, everyone. Um, I did have a few more slides, but I think I've kind of already shared this. I'll just share this one actually before we go into the divine healing. As I said earlier, we can have a desire from the conscious mind. I want to be more visible. I want to be more myself. I want to do group work. I want to be social. I want to, whatever it is that we want to do. But we also have the fear from the subconscious, which is, I'm scared to be more visible. And the subconscious will do everything in its power to live true to the belief. So if we have a belief of it's not safe to be out in the world, the subconscious will do everything it can to stop us from putting ourselves out into the world. And often, this is my stuck in the mud. We get stuck in the mud like a car. We don't move forwards. We don't move backwards. We just stay stuck. This is cracking you up, Lynn. I love it. You know what this feeling is. You just don't move because the fear and the desire are pulling us at the same time. And this is the inner conflict, the deep subconscious inner conflict. We get absolutely stuck. So let's do a little bit of unsticking. We're going to do some unsticking now. And we're going to do a little bit of healing work. If we run over by 5 minutes, is everyone fine with that? If you need to rush off, you can just jump off the call. But it's a little bit of a struggle to keep this workshop to 1 hour and 45, because as you can see, there's a lot to cover. And I'm a chatty Kathy. So what we're going to do is we're just going to let everything go. And I just want you guys to lean back and shut your eyes. And just really lean back off the center. So make sure you've got something lovely supporting you behind your back. And all I want you to do is start taking some lovely deep breaths in and out, in through your nose and out through your mouth. Just really start to land in your body. And I know we've talked about a lot. I want you to let everything go. Everything that just happened, you can let it go. Everything that might happen tomorrow, later, you can let it go. You can come back to it after this process. So with every breath in and every breath out, you are just landing more and more deeply in your body. And I want you to imagine this wave of relaxation coming from the top of your head, your crown chakra, and it's spreading all the way over your head, softening, relaxing and soothing, softening your brow, your eyes, your cheeks, your jaw, your mouth, softening and loosening your neck. It's flowing over your shoulders. They're just dropping, softening and relaxing all the way down your arms, all the way to the tips of your fingers. Very soothing wave of relaxation flowing over your shoulders, down your upper back, your middle back, your lower back, into your sitting bones, flowing down the front of your torso, just soothing and relaxing as it goes. And it's moving down each leg all the way to your tippy toes. Lovely heaviness, groundingness, and calm. And in divine healing, we always do an opening prayer, which I've already done for you guys. So we're actually just going to get straight into what it is that we're going to do today. And in divine healing, we are not in charge. So I want you to let go of all expectations. And I'm going to let go of all my expectations as well. And we just see what comes up. which is perfect for this group. And this is why I love this work. Okay, I thought this chart would come up. It's one of my favorites. This is something from level 3, and Divine Healing works in levels. And this chart is called Moving Forward on Your Path of Growth. We're all here to move forwards. Leilani, you know this one. We're all here to move forwards, move into greater consciousness, greater expansion, greater knowingness of the truth of who we are. But on our way, we hit stumbling blocks that delay, discourage, or block our energy. And often these do come from past lives. And so what we're going to look at is, what is a fear or belief that is coming up for us as a group? Oh, it's already come up. It just popped up really quickly. And this is going to be something that we're all going to resonate with because it's coming up as a group. I'm going to tell you what it is. I can't do it. So I want you to sit with that belief. I can't do it. And just notice how it's sitting within you. Notice how it's feeling. What comes up with this belief? I can't do it. And just take your time. We never rush with this. How do you identify with this? I can't do it. What's it connected to? And you don't need to think about this. There's no right or wrong answer. It's whatever rises up within you. Might be a memory, an emotion, a vision from the past. Just a feeling in the body. There's no right or wrong. How do you identify with, I can't do it? Really feel and acknowledge this. Maybe this feeling of I can't do it, this belief is sitting somewhere in your body or somewhere in your fields. Where is it making itself known? Might feel like a heaviness or a density. Maybe a pain or a tingling, or maybe nothing at all. Again, that's very normal. I can't do it. The belief, I can't do it. And as you go a little bit deeper into it, does it have a shape or a color, this belief? Just open yourself to all aspects of this belief. Allow yourself to feel it, connect with it. And in divine healing, we always work on finding the origin of a program. And normally, in a group, people have different origins or they have the same one. The information I got is that you all have the same origin, and it is past lives, this dimension. So this is a belief, I can't do it, that's coming from a past life in this dimension. So that's just the origin of this belief. And the belief is not you, it's just something that got encoded into you. That's all it is, just a program. So we're going to do a little bit of clearing on it. I'm going to do a command code so you can just allow yourself to feel this. Notice how it lands in your body. Higher self, please clear 100% the core issue, the original cause, the source of its power, any energy attached, and all of its effects through all layers, levels, and dimensions right to the point of creation. Please balance, clear, and align all energy fields to enable high levels of truth and consciousness to embody. Just allow yourselves to feel that, whatever feelings are coming through, maybe something physical, maybe there's an emotion there that's wanting to be felt and come up to the surface. Maybe there's nothing at all and you can just be okay with that. Really interesting has come up, so I'm just gonna get a good description. Ah, beautiful. So an emotional state has also come through that's wanting to come into our awareness. Again, it's for the entire group, and it's faint-hearted, an emotional state of being faint-hearted. And a good description of this is lacking courage or resolution, being faint of heart, not feeling quite strong enough in our heart, in our courage, in our bravery, perhaps. So just allow yourselves to connect with that in your own individual way. It's going to be different for all of you. Just the emotional state of faint-hearted. Very unusual term. Maybe you feel this somewhere in your body. Maybe you can connect it with something in a different way. Maybe you actually want to bring yourself into your heart and just notice what feeling there is there, bringing your attention, your awareness and your energy into your heart center and just feeling what's going on in there. Maybe there's an emotion. Maybe there's just some energy moving. I'm going to do a little bit more clearing, especially on this faint-hearted emotional state. We're going to do a little zap code, which is almost like a little command, a spoken command to clear or activate. Oh, beautiful. We're going to do a little bit of a healing to the ancestors and the genetic line, which is a big theme that's come up today. So I'm going to do this one for you as a group. Healing team, please initiate full spectrum healing to these ancestral lines, going back as many generations as required, and take everyone involved back to their center. We command this healing to the Akashic records, the cellular memory, the DNA, the subatomic levels, and the microcosm to all current family connections that are ready and willing to receive it, and to any future progeny of this line, if it is for the highest will and good. Thank you. And just come into your body, allow yourself to just feel how your body is responding. There's no right or wrong way to respond in divine healing. Let's see where we go now. Okay, I'm going to come back to our path of growth chart. And what I want to know, I'm getting that it's ready to clear, but if you guys just give me a little wave of your hand, are you ready to clear the energy, the old belief of I can't do it? You can keep your eyes shut. You can just give me a wave. Beautiful. Beautiful. Thanks, Kitty. Lovely. So I want you to come back into your body and center into your heart. I'm going to get you guys to repeat after me with real intention and meaning. You're all on mute, so you're just going to speaking out loud to yourselves, okay? So you're going to repeat after me. Healing team, I command the release of this limiting belief through all levels of my being and consciousness in the highest and best good. We're going to pause and we're going to carry on. I release all belief, perception, and judgment that I can't do it. I release all need and desire to believe that I can't do it. And we're going to put in a little restructure. So whenever we remove something, we fill in the void with something positive, which is, for me, very simply, I can do it. Very simple, very to the point. So what we're going to do is we're going to put this in now. So again, come into your heart space. Take a nice deep breath. You speak these words into existence. I now completely accept and believe and instruct the subconscious mind to accept and believe on every level of my being that I can do it. And we're going to tap this belief in a little bit. You can tap just with your fingers on the top of your chest, underneath your clavicle, or you can tap on the sides of the hands. And you're going to say this a few times. I can do it. I can do it. I can do it. I can do it. Bring into your mind what it is that you're wanting to do as you say this. I can do it. 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 Many times as it feels good. Oh, I'm doing some nice yawns. Whenever you're ready, you can just pop your hand down and just come back into your space. I'm just going to see if we need to do anything else. I'm getting that that's all we needed to do. And then when you guys are ready, you can just slowly start to come back. Just take your time. Always short and sweet, the divine healing. There's actually a few more beautiful parts of that chart that you can kind of only do in a full session because it's a little more complex and long. But this was almost just like a little touch into it. So if anyone wants to share how they're feeling and if anything came up, anything interesting, you're very welcome to. It was just a short little touch point. Yes, Lynn.
Well, it's just that when we were commanding to let it go, I really saw like all of this energy, like a sort of like a tunnel, like it was red and it was like, it was just, it was so clear. And I'm like, whoa, I don't know, like some things at play definitely. And then when that stopped, all of that disappeared. And then when it was, I can do it, it was another kind of energy. It wasn't a tunnel and it was more inside me. So that was really fun.
Oh, I love that. And I could see you when you were tapping, you were just animated. It was just like smiley. It's lovely. It's lovely to witness that. So thank you for sharing.
Thank you so much for guiding.
My pleasure. It's short and deceptively simple, this work, but my gosh, it is very powerful, even in short little sweet bits. But I did have a feeling, you know, there's just, I think with a lot of us, especially with those fives and 10 ones and sevens and eights and nines, there's a lot of stuff that we can't quite get to on our own because it's that past life stuff, the ancestral stuff, the trauma that's just stuck in our field somewhere. So yeah, that was short and sweet, as I said. Does anyone else want to share before I just do a little tiny close? Leilani.
That was quite a release. It was like yawn after yawn after yawn. And then what came in my like I was just thinking like it's exhausting to like have to put on a mask and to not be authentic and to think about everything and everyone. So I think that was part of what was being released, that exhaustion.
Oh, I love that. And you know what? When we do release stuff, our body's been holding on to it so tightly that it can feel really fatigued afterwards. Healing isn't high energy work, it's freaking exhausting a lot of the time. Yeah. Does anyone else? Yes, Caroline.
I just wanted to say that this is the kind of healing sessions that I have been guided to, and you've made you've demonstrated today that I mean, I know it's not effortless. I know what goes behind that, but the power of this work in group with everybody that was meant to be here today, where we've all got such synchronicities with numbers and experiences, it really gave me that. I did some releasing, but that I can do it. I can do this. This is such beautiful. And we're away on holiday, and I said I've got to join this. I've got to join this today. I've just felt this real sense that I needed to. I could be on the beach with everybody, and I was like, no, I'm going back. And like, what time? This power thing that was coming over was like, what time will you be finished? And I was like, no, I'm coming into my power here. This is something that is for me. So this, Antonia, has ticked so many different levels, and your beautiful energy is just so heartwarming. So thank you so much. That's and I'm still processing. I can still feel this heaviness. I can still feel the healing team like, okay, we've got her. So it's a collective energy as well. I'm very aware of that. That heart opening, that faint-heartedness as well, where there's this, instead of, my heart does feel faint, and then when you come into the heart space, then boom, it's magnified. But when things are so faint-hearted because of the mind chatter and everything else and the wounds, it's a reminder to come back into your heart space and lead with this, not with this, and past experiences and conditioning. So much gratitude for this beautiful work, and I think I've messaged you about 4 times going, oh my gosh, I've missed you again. So thank you for putting a few more reminders out there, and I was like, put it in my diary. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Nine.
Thank you.
Or maybe I have to meet you again because I was back. I don't know what it is, but I was going to say, you're meant to work with groups. You got a ton of 7s in your chart. I mean, it's an inevitability for you to do this work, and I'm so glad that you're here. And there is such a synchronicity between everyone who comes, and it gives me so much joy. And I get so nervous beforehand of like, will anyone come? Who's going to come? Are they going to enjoy it? Is it going to make sense? I get that massively, but when you're there doing it, it's just you're with people like yourself. We're all so similar in so many ways, and it's very joyful. So thank you so much for sharing that, and so glad you made it. Yeah, I know we went over, so apologies everyone. Did anyone else want to share before I do my little close? Or is everyone feeling nice and relaxed and happy? All I'll say is, let me just pull this up very, very briefly, just one more minute. I'll just share that lots of stuff I didn't get to because I ran out of time. This is just for people watching the recording. You can get your numbers at Soul Contract Reader. And I do lots of blog posts about all the beautiful things we talked about. And I am running. This was a big deal for me to start running, actually, with my 7s. It's called White Opal, and it's basically a healing group. I've got 3 people in there at the moment, and they're all doing this work as well. And we have 2 live sessions a month, and over 3 months. So every 2 weeks we meet as a group and we do group healing. And it's very beautiful, very joyful, and everyone's very, very similar, very, very connected. So it's kind of that community healing space. And I've got all the details on my website, and I'll send it in the follow-up email. And yeah, this is my big joy to do this, to run this. And then of course I do one-on-ones, but you guys all know my work, and a lot of you do your own work. But yeah, White Opal is for very like-minded people seeking, it's that group healing as a container of being light workers, essentially, and working on stuff together. The last session, not the last session, one of our sessions, we're kind of halfway through now. We started in March or April. We did that same chart, moving forward on your path of growth. We did it the whole way through, and it was persecution for being a light worker, which is really heavy. So those are the type of themes we're working on, the stuff that collectively we're all feeling. And sometimes it's individual stuff that comes up, and I'll tailor it to the person, but usually it's the group. So that's starting on the 14th of July. And I don't think 10 people will be there, but I have 10 spaces in that at a maximum, because otherwise it's too overwhelming, too many people. So just so you guys are aware. And then I'll run another group workshop probably next month, but I don't know what the theme will be yet. We'll go with the flow with that. So yeah, I think we're all done. Thank you very much. I know we've gone into 2 hours pretty much, but thank you so much for being here live. Thank you so much for participating and sharing and being so vulnerable. And all of you are, 100% authentic, which is the whole point of this work. So take great courage from that.
Well,
Real
thank you. Thank you very much. Very enjoyable.
My
Thank you,
pleasure.
everyone.
My
Thank you.
pleasure. I'll see you all see you all soon. Hopefully. Bye 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 everyone. Look after yourself. Bye.
Bye.